everybody, and Happy New Year. So I'm back to the drawing board with selling my house, and I actually don't know where to go from here. If you're new to my channel, my name is Zoe, and my plan is to sell up in the UK and go travelling. My plan is to slow travel and live in different places for 1 to 3 months at a time for the next 5 years. That's the target I set myself, and see where I land and what I want to do for the rest of my life and my retirement. And I first put my house on the market in April 2024 with one agent, and they found me a buyer quite quickly. And it seemed really good at the time, all positive. And then after 2 months, nothing seemed to be moving forward. And once I chased up myself, because the agents just kept telling me, yes, everything's fine, it's happening, it's moving along. When I started chasing up myself, I found out that the buyer actually wasn't doing anything. She hadn't even appointed her solicitors to do anything. And so that fell through. Not long after that, I changed agents, and actually a very similar thing happened. They found me a buyer quite quickly. Now, I didn't think that this was a strong buyer either. I'm a little bit more cautious now after the first one fell through. But they assured me that this was a good buyer. I should go ahead with this. And after 2 months, he came back and slashed his offer. So that didn't go through. They found me another one, but after a couple of weeks, that fell through as well. Now, in all this time, I've also completely decluttered my house. I've sold most of my belongings. I'm sleeping on a blow-up bed because I gave all my beds and most of my bedroom furniture and a lot of my other stuff to my son last year when he bought a house, because I didn't think I was going to need it. And this is where we are, with no indication that this agent is ever going to be able to sell my property. So I gave notice to that agent. Now, I wasn't tied into any term with them, but there was a month's notice. So I gave my month's notice, and the agency agreement will end next week. Interestingly, I gave written notice, and I also did message them. And I know they've got my messages, but they've never responded to acknowledge it. But anyway, next week the agency agreement will be over. And then I'm a bit stuck about what to do. I've put some messages out to some other agents that have been recommended to me to really get some advice, because if you're a buyer looking at my property, you may well assume it has been on the market for 8 months. 8 months? Yeah, more or less 8, 9 months, with no interest, which is actually not the case, because for 5 months of that time, about 50-60% of the time, it's actually been under offer. Just not with serious people wanting to buy it, but it just looks so bad that it looks like it's been on the market that long. And I know a lot of people will say, well, reduce your price. I don't think the price is the issue, because I'm getting offers at that price. What the issue seems to be is getting people through the door and then finding buyers that are serious about buying. And this is where I think the agents around here just seem to be struggling with this. So I really don't know what to do. I don't know if going straight back on the market again is going to be the right strategy. It's just going to look like it's been on the market even longer. Now, we talked a lot about whether I should just rent it out for a while. But I'm not keen on that for a lot of reasons. Not only because I know it's stupid. I do have an attachment to this house, and I have an emotional attachment to it. And the thought of someone else living in here, it just really weirds me out. I don't like it. But not just that, financially, I wouldn't be that much better off from living off the interest of a sale. And I have to be careful that if I'm not living here for a period of time and I'm renting it out, when I sell it, I'll have to pay extra tax and capital gains. So I need to be very wary of that. I don't have friends or family that I could rent it out to. So it's potentially an option, but it could only ever be a short-term option. And yeah, it's so tricky, really. It really is. I thought I would be off by now, traveling the world, living in Asia somewhere, but I'm not. I'm still here. Now, I also said I don't make New Year's resolutions. I've changed my mind. I've made one. I am never, ever, ever going to spend a January in the UK again. It is so cold. It's just nasty. I don't know how anyone likes it. I'm fed up walking around like this everywhere. I just don't like it. And the last 2 years, I've been in the Caribbean for January, February. Yeah, January, February into March. So it's sort of 2.5, 3 months. And the only reason I didn't go this year was because I wanted to be here to make sure that I'm part of the process when we have a buyer. I don't want anything to slip up, or that, I don't want miscommunications, which can happen when you're abroad. So that's the only reason I haven't gone. Now I wish I'd gone. It's freezing. I've forgotten how cold it gets here. I just don't like it. So I have made a New Year's resolution, and it is, I'm never going to be in the UK in January, ever, ever again. Anyway, so what do I do with the house? What do you think? What's a good strategy from here? Now, moving home with Charlie, I put a video out a couple of days ago. I watched it on Friday, and it actually specifically for people like me where it's just not worked and I need to move agent and what to do. And do you know what? I've followed his advice. On the last one, I was so careful with picking the agent. And the problem is, I asked them the question, what are you going to do to launch my property? How are you going to get me the best bid? And they all actually say the same thing, other than we're on all the portals. I can put myself on a portal through Purple Bricks. I don't need you to do that. I need you to do something else. I need you to be marketeers. I need you to be salespeople. Is it that hard? I mean, you're selling to me. Why can't you sell the same to the buyer? Oh, but they all say the same thing on, we've got a list of hundreds of people looking for exactly the same property that you want. You hear it all the time. I just don't believe any of it anymore. And this is another problem. I'm so jaded by the whole process. I need somebody that's got a bit of spark about them and, that I can trust. I really trusted both my agents when I signed them up. I was so excited with them. And the first one, he was just terrible. The whole company was terrible. Too big, too disinterested. The second one, I was really impressed with them. And the lady that I signed up for, I really signed up with her. But actually, she's had nothing to do with it since. I've spoken to her once since. I've had other people dealing with it. And I think that's partly the problem, isn't it? Is you sign up with a person, but you don't get that person. Anyway, I don't know. It's very frustrating. I feel defeated by it all. I really do. Anyway, if you've got any advice, feel free to share it. What should I do? Oh, and I'm also very sorry. I sound a bit croaky. I've had an awful cough and bug that people have got at the moment, and I'm just starting to get better. So I do apologise. My voice is a little bit horsey today. This cold weather doesn't help. Well, yes, if you've got any ideas, what should I do? Just feel free to share. Let's hope we have some news soon. And I'll let you know if I hear from any of these that I've put out messages to. Chin up. Could be worse. Speak to you soon. Thank you. Bye.